I don't know why it keeps muting me. Hi, it's Judy Klock here, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Middletown, Virginia, coming to you today for another video tutorial. I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. I just want to say that I love crafting. It brings me a lot of happiness. I think it's a great way to connect with other people. I love having people in my community who are, just like me. They're happy, they're sassy, they want to just connect and make friends and create and enjoy. So if that's you, you are in the right place. All right, let's go and get started. So tonight I'm combining, let me move my screen. I'm going to combine our Bottled Happiness stamp set and our Vintage Bottle Punch with a couple of products from Celebration. One being this beautiful Pool Party crinkle ribbon. It's 5/8 of an inch, so it's just about a half an inch wide. Crinkled ribbon. These opaque, faceted, adhesive-backed gems. These are all items that you can get for free and are softly sophisticated embossing folder. Now, this is one of the $100 items. When you have a sale of a purchase of $100 or more, you can get this embossing folder and the softly sophisticated stamp set together. These are both free with the $50 purchase. The embossing folder and the stamp set is free with a $100 purchase. But let's take a look at what I created with these. I was kind of pressed for time, so I needed to do something as usual that was just kind of fast and furious. And if you're here, go ahead and give me a hello. Let me know you're here watching and where you're tuning in from. If you're catching this on replay, then go ahead and, let me know that you're here on replay and where you're watching from. And of course, anytime you leave comments, that just helps the algorithm and helps people find my channel. So our first card is just a simple stamping. It is two-step stamping. We're going to stamp the flowers in Pool Party, and then we're going to stamp the leaves in that soft sea foam. And we're just going to add a little message. But again, it's a very simple card. Really, I think even a beginner, I tried to keep the supplies to minimal, but we use that free ribbon and those free gems. So see how that free stuff can really, hey, Ida, how are you? Olympia, Washington. Wow, it's nice to have you here. It's cold and dreary here on the East Coast. Hey, from South Carolina. All right, you're on the East Coast with me. All right. And then, so I kept it kind of simple here with this. And then I did this one first, right? I kind of stepped it up with a little bit more die cuts. We used that bottle punch, but I didn't like it because the white to me was just so flat. I wanted some texture. So I redid the card and I added that folder. I don't know if you could see it. It's kind of hard to see, but I added that embossing folder. And I just think it just really makes the card look better. So this is the card that is not embossed. This is the card that is embossed. So hopefully it's really hard to see. And I apologize, but I'm hoping you can see the difference. Let me know which ones you like and just let me know. So I was kind of inspired by this by some comments from some of the people that follow me on my Facebook page and in my group. And a lot of people, I think, sometimes struggle with color, right? I mean, sometimes you just don't know what to put together. So one good trick is to, if you're using designer series paper, is to pull the colors from the designer series paper, right? And it makes it easy that way. What if you don't have designer series paper? Well, another easy way is to just pull colors that are in the same color family because you know that they'll work together. So for this one, I chose from our Subtles family, I chose our Pool Party and our Soft Seafoam. So let's go ahead and get started on this one. Now, this threw me for, I hadn't used this stamp set for a very long time, like almost a year. So when I first put it on, I was like, I kind of forgot how to do the two-step stamping with it, but I eventually remembered, everything comes back. It's like riding a bike, right? After a while, it all comes back. So this little notch here, I don't know if you can see it where I'm pointing, this little notch is kind of the bottom, what I consider the bottom of the stamp. So I'm just going to kind of stamp this a little bit off in my lower corner, and then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to stamp it again a little bit off in that upper right corner. All right, and then before I put my pool party away, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to stamp sending a little message. And you'll notice that I am using the Glass Matte Studio with my photopolymers, because I don't have to use a Stampin' Pierce mat, because this glass mat kind of gives me that extra cushion that I need to really get a nice clean stamp with the photopolymers. And this is, you can get this free when you sign up as a demonstrator during Celebration. It's a $60 value. It comes with the glass mat, a cleaning cloth, and a little silicone mat that you can put other things on, like like if you want to use like the ink refills and use a little bit of color for watercoloring or something, that this mat is great for that. So that also comes with it. And again, this is all free when you sign up during Celebration, which ends at 11:59 Mountain Time on February 29th. I had to double check that. Sometimes these time zones always throw me for a loop. So now when you go to use this stamp, you'll notice this little flower up here kind of has like a 4-pointed center, and there's like a 4-pointed center up here. So that's how I know where to place this. Now, you're going to have to forgive me, because between the glare of the lights and my glasses, sometimes it's hard for me to see, but I think I've got it. Okay, that looks pretty good. I think it might be a little bit off, but okay, not too off. So that goes there, and then we're going to just kind of flip it around. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of, I hate to have to pull this down here, but I have to pull it down here for placement, and I'll push it back up so you can see. And there we go. And that is my placement. Now, I do have a little bit of ink on my studio, and I forgot to wet my craft mat. So let me just wipe this. I just don't want to get that green on my card. All right, so now I'm going to take, and I want to add some ribbon to the middle of that. I'm going to close up all my stuff first, because you know me, I make a big mess. Big mess. All right. Where are my paper towels? So my husband also works down here, and sometimes, hey, Joan, how are you doing today? Sometimes he moves my supplies because he needs them, and then I can never find them again. But I did tell, so he does models, and I did, he was having trouble picking up some little pieces. So I showed him about the putty end on our U-Pick tool. So now I had to buy a U-Pick tool for him, because he likes that putty end to pick up his little pieces for his model airplanes and stuff. So see, even your husbands can become your customers unwillingly. So the other day, the putty tipper had a putty. He's like, do you have a refill? I'm like, yeah, I got a refill for you. So, but it's coming quite handy for him. So lots of non-Stampin' Up! Uses. So I added a little adhesive to the reverse of my card, and I'm just going to kind of put this down, kind of stick one in, make sure I kind of have it where I want it. I kind of want it in the center, sort of. And then I am going to just trim it off. And that's my little cheating way of not putting ribbon fully around. Now, before I tie my little knot on there, I'm going to adhere it to my my pool party cardstock. So this white that I stamped on was 5 by 3 3/4. My pool party is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to put that onto a base of thick Whisper white. That, of course, is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. All right. Hey, Montana. Oh, Minnesota. I can't even read, Joan. I literally can't read. I'm like blind. They're supposed to be progressives, but they're relatively new, and I just am not used to them yet. So Or maybe they're just not the right prescription. Who knows? Or maybe my prescription just needs to be stronger. That's a very distinct possibility, folks. All right, so now we've got that. Now I'm going to add a little piece. And again, I am going to tie this in a knot. And it doesn't matter which side you tie it on the left, tie it on the right. I'm tying it on the left because I have my sentiment on the right. So to my mind, to my way of thinking, that kind of balances out the card. Maybe not, I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's the way I like it. And that's really what I love about this hobby. There's, other than a right way to use the tools, there's absolutely no right way to create. Like whatever you like, whenever people are in my class and they ask me a question, I'm like, do you like it? That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if it's not exactly what I did or what the sample shows. Do you like it? Are you happy with it? Then it's perfect. Because really, ultimately, it's your card. It's your creation. Hopefully, you're going to be the one giving it to someone, and it should be a reflection of you and your personality. I'm kind of like all over the place here and there, like rushing around. So I tend to keep my designs relatively simple. Especially, I found that when I do my virtual classes and we're long distance, it's a little bit easier to have cards that are a little bit more simple. Doesn't mean they're any less elegant. I mean, I think this is a very pretty card. But again, it wasn't very difficult, but our card is done, right? So just 2 ink colors, some little embellishments, and we've got a really pretty card that you can use really for any occasion. Stamp a happy birthday in there, and you've got sending a message, happy birthday, get well, congratulations, happy anniversary. So again, it's kind of that all-purpose card. All right, let's move on. So again, sometimes it comes down to experimentation. Like I said, I did this card first without the embossed white piece, and then I added the embossing. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp our flowers, and all the card layers are the same size. So again, I have an 8.5 by 5.5 thick basic white cardstock. This one has a piece of Poppy Parade that is 4 by 5.25, and I've got our basic white that is 3 3/4 by 5. Now, I kind of made a little template with our punch, right? Because I want to make sure that I punch my flowers. Oh my goodness. Stamp my flowers so they're kind of in the center. So I made that so I can have that just as a reference piece. And I'm going to use a little tiny piece of washi tape on the back of that to kind of hold it in place. Because even if my paper tears a little tiny bit with the washi, we're going to stamp and punch out a bottle. So it will cover up any little marks, but it should be fine. So I'm just going to add a little piece of washi there. If you have that, like that 3M tape, that, what do they call it? Like Post-it note tape, you can use that. I do have that, but it's put away right now, and the washi tape was on my desk, so that's why we went with it. Okay, so for this one, I chose to go with the Poppy Parade. I wanted a pop of color. I didn't want to go I didn't want to go with a subtle color. I wanted that pop to be really, I made cards I like. That's exactly what you should be doing, Joan. Exactly right. It should be something you like and you're proud to give. So yay for you. I know some people just get so wrapped around the axle about it, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. Do what you like. Do what you love. We're here to have fun. We're here to support each other and cheer each other on and have fun. Okay, so again, there is my little flower that's kind of got the 4 pointy things. So I know I want that to be my top. This kind of notch down here at the bottom, that's what I want to wrap around my bottle top. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. So anyway, when I was picking this out, I did not pick a color from the Subtles palette because I wanted something a little bit with more pop to it. So that's why I chose the Poppy Parade. I could have gone with Fresh Freesia. I could have gone with Bubble Bath. I could have gone with Lemon Lolly or Flirty Flamingo or even Petal Pink, but I wanted something a little bit different. So again, experiment with your colors. Do what you like. Yeah, I do love doing fun folds too, Joan. They're so much fun. Are any of you demonstrator here on that aren't watching? Are you demonstrators? Are you going to on stage? Let me know if you're going to on stage. I will be there. I'm so excited. I can't wait. My upline and I are traveling together and we're meeting some friends there. So I'm pretty excited. All right. I am going to, hopefully, I got that lined up pretty good. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. All right. Now we're going to come in here and I'm going to bring in my, I have another piece of paper. So on this one, I want to stamp my sentiment. I'm going to stamp my sentiment in Poppy Parade. And it's let's get into the spirit. Okay. I'm going to stamp this right down here. Okay. All right. And then on the other end, I'm going to cut that off in a minute. I want to stamp our bottles. So I'm going to stamp the solid bottle first. So I'm going to move these two out of the way for right now. But I'm going to ink this up and I'm going to stamp it off because I don't want the pool party on there full force. So I'm going to ink it up. And then you could stamp it off right on the glass. I'm just choosing to stamp it off on a piece of scrap paper. And that did not ink up well or stamp off well. Okay. So now I'm going to stamp my image using my stamped off ink because I wanted that to be a soft, gosh, I'm dropping everything tonight. Now I'm going to ink up what I call like the outline stamp, right? And I'm going to stamp this full strength because I want that contrast. And again, I'm going to just pull this down here a little closer to me so I can see. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, a little bit off, but it'll work. And then I'm going to punch this out. Oh my goodness, this light. I think the plug is loose, and if I kind of just breathe wrong, it just kind of goes out. So it's very temperamental. All right, here we go. Let's punch that out. Okay, here we go. Now I want to trim my sentiment. And this is only going to be, gosh, maybe not even half, maybe like 3/8 of an inch wide. Okay. By, I don't know, like 3 1/8 inch long. Okay. And then I want to cut a piece of our Poppy Parade. Again, it's just going to be a little bit longer. So I'm going to make this a 1/2 inch by like 3 1/4. Okay, and that will be just enough to give us, I can get that off. Okay, to give us that little bit of Poppy Parade that's going to peek through. So let's go ahead and add this. I'm going to add some liquid glue to my strip of Poppy Parade. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Joanna, but thank you for both his service and your service, because I know families serve as well as the veteran. My sister was a career Army wife, so the spouses and children of our veterans really also serve, and I think they're often overlooked in how important they are to support the veteran while he's doing his thing. Okay, this was just a wee tad longer than I wanted, so I'm just going to trim this just a bit. Okay. And now we're ready to put our card together. All right, so I'm going to take this off, right? I'm going to pop up this bottle with dimensionals. I know I have them over here somewhere. Here we go. And I'm going to put a little tiny dimensional, one of the minis, right up there on the neck. Okay, and then I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on the body. Okay, take that off. Okay, and then we're going to just make sure the bottle goes right in the center of our flowers. Now we're ready to put it on our card base. All right, we're gonna, I keep losing. I know this part looks nice and neat, right? Off camera, don't look. It is a jumble. I am working on swaps for on stage. I am working on my cards for my April workshop, and we'll be using trusty tools for April. We're going to be getting ready for Dad. All right, now we're ready. Oh, I forgot to do one thing. Well, you know what? This is exactly what I did not want to do. Give me a second. We are going to redo that because I had wanted to run that through our embossing folder, and I totally forgot. I got busy talking like I normally do, and then I forgot. So talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. I need to use basic way. Oh my goodness. See? Nothing like totally flubbing it on a live demo. Woo! Oh well. It's not the first time. It's not going to be the last time, people. Oh my goodness. Good thing we're all friends here, right? But yeah, it's nice to stamp with friends, right? It's good to have friends, whether they are from around the corner or around the world. It's just so much fun to stamp with others. Okay. Let's try this one more time, shall we? I'm not going to talk through this because we've kind of already done this. So I am just going to go ahead and stamp. You can rewind to watch how I lined everything up, my reasoning behind using these colors, whatever you want, but I'm just going to keep on going. All right. Stepped up card, take 2. Oh, goodness gracious. And you know what? That is pool party. That was not. You know, folks, I'm just having one of those nights. Just one of those nights. But if you'll bear with me, I promise we'll get through this unscathed in one piece. Ay, ay, ay. So if you have not joined my Facebook VIP community, Crafty Stampers VIP community, I hope that you will, because I'm trying to we'll make that a little bit more interactive, and I'm trying to really just build a community where friends can get together and stamp and just do life together, because I think we've just gotten so, I don't know, isolated and alone, and I think it's just nice to have friends that you can stamp with and craft with and have fun with and laugh with. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Now we're going to take this piece that I've stamped again, and before I do anything else to it, before I do not one more thing, I want to run it through that embossing folder, that softly sophisticated embossing folder. And again, this is one of the freebies during celebration. This embossing folder and the softly sophisticated stamp set are free with a $100 purchase. But I asked my daughter this afternoon, I'm like, which one looks better? And she goes, oh, definitely the one with the embossing. So when you want to emboss on a piece of paper where you, where you have a stamped image, all you need to do is stamp first and then run it through your embossing folder. Now I'm just going to take this off of our other one. We're just going to recycle. Maybe we're not. We're not going to recycle that. That's not coming off. All right, quickly. Stamp another bottle. All right. Going to stamp this. Going to stamp it off on my glass. Stamp it on my cardstock. Grab the bottle outline. We're going to stamp this full strength pool party. Okay. And again, I apologize for pulling this out of view, but I needed to do that just to kind of get it lined up. So once I've got it lined up, I'm just going to take it away. And you can see that little outline stamp is darker. Okay, now we're just going to punch this out. We're almost done, folks, I promise. Despite our little bobble there. Okay, and now we're going to add our dimensionals. I hope I have another small one, which I don't know if I do. I was kind of getting to the end, but oh, what do you know? Literally the last one. The last mini dimensionals before I get to the edge pieces. So let me add this to our Poppy Parade cardstock, which I also need another piece. Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd. I am just a total mess tonight. All right, let me come over here. Well, let me get the cardstock. Please, Lord, let me have a piece in here I can cut down. What do you know? I think I might even have one already. Almost already. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. That is 4, 5 1/4. Oh, bless you. All right. Let's add this to our Poppy Parade. Okay. This, I don't like Stampin' Seal. I like Stampin' Seal Plus, but I had a Stampin' Seal, so I'm like, well, I'll try it again. And I've tried it, and I can say, I still don't like it. I will take the Plus any day. I think I did not cut this cardstock right, but at this point in time, we are going to roll with it, right? And know that this card is probably not our best effort. But I will probably be the only one who knows this is it. Do you know that we are our own worst critics? Most people wouldn't even notice the imperfections on our cards like we do. So give yourself some grace. It's okay. And anything that's handmade is usually not perfect, but it's heartfelt, and that's what counts. All right. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're going to add our little sentiment, and I'm going to add 2 dimensionals, one to each end, because that is going to go right over our bottle, which is already popped up on dimensionals. So I just want to make sure that those end pieces are popped up. I don't need to put dimensionals on the whole thing. If you want to put like a little adhesive here and make sure it sticks to the bottle, you can do that. Not necessary. Just get those dimensionals on the end. Okay. Just add your sentiment. Okay. Into the spirit. And then I'm going to finish it off with some of our adhesive. What is this? Opaque faceted gems. The opaque faceted gems. And I'm going to use, once again, the pool party gems, because we've got our, okay. I think it's almost time for a new tip. All right. Sometimes they come up really easily, and sometimes not so much. All right, here we go. One. Come on. This was just not my night, people. This was just not my night. We're going to keep going. All right. So those finally are the 2 cards. Perfection is overrated, Joan. I agree with you 100%. Those are our 2 cards for this evening. We had a very simple stamping card. We did a little 2-step stamping with 2 colors from the Subtles color family. We used soft seafoam and Pool Party. And then we stepped it up a little bit by adding that really pretty embossing folder. We kept those same 2 colors. We had Pool Party. We did a stamp off and then stamped in full strength. We used soft seafoam and we added a little bit of Poppy Parade, and then we backed it on some Poppy Parade paper. But that is it for me. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a great weekend. Like I said, if you haven't yet signed up for my email list, please do. I send out an email at least once a week, usually on Fridays. I was a little late last week, but better late than never. And I always give a free tutorial with it because I believe that if you have ideas, you will craft more. A lot of people get stuck. They have blocks. So I like to hopefully give you a little incentive to just keep those creative juices going, and come stamp with us over in the Crafty Clock VIP community. We would love to have you. We're sassy, we're funny, we're just crazy, but we just have fun. We're all about having fun and supporting each other. You know what? There's a place at the table for everybody. We're that place. Come join us. Bye, everybody. See ya. Have a good weekend. Bye.